It's Monday. That's a short way of saying it's party time, Mom. Kick it! Little Beastie Boys intro. We're in the Mothership, Studio 22. Who else has just had a wild and crazy morning? Woo! My day started about 3 a.m., Sara Gonzales.
Why?
Because it could. I don't believe in sleep anymore.
No, you don't.
I'm in menopause. I laid there till 4, and I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm getting up and I'm driving. I can't wait to get back in this studio. Can't wait to get back to Blaze.
Wow.
I did. I got in my studio. I got me in my dressing room in there. Took myself a little nap. I'm rare to go. Rare to go.
But I feel like instead of waking up at 3 and napping by 10, you could just sleep longer.
Coulda, but I couldn't. So by the time I got back in here, I was like, I'd already driven 3.5 hours. So I was like, now I'm ready to decompress a little bit.
Yeah.
It works.
Okay.
It works. But anyway, good weekend. You have a good weekend?
Yeah.
Everybody have a good weekend?
I don't think the viewers can answer you.
They're answering me in their heart, and I feel what they say. It's kind of a transcendent, effervescent effusion.
Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, I had a good weekend. I was in Lexington, Kentucky. Lexington, Kentucky showed up and showed out. We had a packed house, Manchester Music Hall. I hope we get to go back there this year. Hope we get to go back and bring the Ragamuffins. That's a great music venue. It's a great venue.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a lot of folks out there. Drink a lot of bourbon. A lot of bourbon. Don't start on me about my gout. I drink good bourbon. There's a big difference. But I sampled a lot of bourbons. They won't let you. They were like, don't you want tequila? And I was like, not in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Even had a little moonshine. Ha-ha. That was backstage at the meet and greet. You never know what you're going to get in the meet and greet.
Wow.
People say we had, 30 people, 15 couples lined up for the meet and greet. Mm-hmm. They came backstage. We hung out. And people are going, what do we do for this $60 we paid for the meet and greet? We passed the jar of moonshine. That's what I'm talking about. Ron White don't do that. Larry the Cable Guy don't do that. Chad Prather show, though, you never know what you're going to get. So, anyway, I am going to be in Amarillo Friday night. That is the 20th. Going to be in Amarillo at Hoots Pub. You go honky-tonk at Hoots Pub.
Love it.
Hoots is a fun place. It's a love or hate kind of place. But I'll give them this. They've promoted the hell out of this show, and there's still tickets available. But that's a dance hall. So you're not coming in there sitting. We honky-tonking Friday night. Bringing the band, full band, and then we're taking off going to Abilene. I'd love to tell you to get tickets there, but that sucker sold out. Gone.
You should have got tickets.
Not a seat in the house in Abilene. And
Abilene knows what's up.
Potosi Live, man. Potosi Live. That's a good spot. It's a good spot. And then next week, of course, we kick it off in Joplin, Missouri. When I say kick it off, that is the Buck Wild comedy tour.
I'm excited for that.
Oh, it's going to be good. I want you to see now. This is some of my new merch here. I'm wearing it. You can't get it online. Let me get rid of my strings. Right here, my Unapologetic Outdoors since 1776. I've been sitting on Unapologetic Outdoors for like 2 years. And
really?
Yeah. I've been sitting like this design. We've had this for probably 2 years. I just haven't done anything with it. I got a whole merch line of Unapologetic Outdoors.
Huh.
And I even bought unapologetic.outdoors.com, which is long, but still I bought it.
It is long.
And so I got all this stuff. And so I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to make it available online. You can't buy any of my shirts online. Everybody's like, Chad just cares about selling T-shirts. You hadn't been able to buy a T-shirt on my website for 5 months. For 5 months. It's all been pulled down. But I do care about selling T-shirts at realwomen'sclub.com. But live shows, we're going to have the Unapologetic Outdoors. And I did this in response because my buddy Zach Rushing, he's got his outdoor stuff that he sells online. He's all outdoor stuff, designs and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, you bunch of rednecks going to show up to our shows. I'm going to have something for you. Tip.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Anyway, the Puppet Master Mark. Speaking of outdoors, Puppet Master Mark sitting over there. He's outdoors.
What?
He's over there. He's over there in the nether regions, flying us into the nether regions, along with Let's Love Brandon. Somebody came up to me at the show at the meet and greet and said, dude, we love your show, man. We love your show. But honestly, we tune in for Chris Cruz. I said, what? What? Really? The depth of insight? Or just every now and then you hear a I think that's what they like.
They really like a good shriek every now and
They
then.
like a good shriek. And somebody says, for the first tapping, we're going to... I always go into some Pakistani accent when I do Chris. I don't know why I do. Anyway, I don't know where Chris is. He's up finding the Lord somewhere outside.
No,
Doing something. He's gone. He's producing your show.
He's helping with my show now.
Is he back in town?
We're producerless right now on my show. Yeah, I think he's back in town.
Yeah.
Did he even leave town? I don't know. He was just not at the studio.
We should just start trying out producers for your show. See who comes up with what.
Yeah.
Let's just anybody that has no experience whatsoever. Let's just bring them in here, just a hodgepodge of talent.
Yeah.
And so email Sarah at sarah.com. All right, enough about us. I want to get to real news. Real news. And the most important thing that happened over the weekend, in my opinion, especially with this being Martin Luther King Day today, the most important thing in the news was a $10 million sculpture that was unveiled in Boston called The Embrace. I want to play you a clip for it. Brandon, I'm going to let Brandon play it. Play the clip. Oh, here it comes. It's covered up with the big black curtain there.
4, 3,
and
2,
the crowd's
1.
gathered around, all 70 people. And they pull it off, and, yeah, okay. It looks like two hands holding an uncircumcised penis is what it looks like.
But from one angle.
It looks like a black penis. That angle, you got to see it from the floor or from the ground. There's a lot of things out there. I think they gave this is a misnomer. They should have given this a whole different name. Not The Embrace. They should have called this Mike Obama, is what they should have called that. They should have named that Michael Obama. They should have called it Big Mike. Right there it is. Look at that big.
Gosh.
You sent me the tweet with this.
Yeah.
And you were like, WTF? And I was like, is that a sea creature? I mean, is somebody been out pulling, urchins from the sea?
That's a big ass eel.
That reminds me of that meme that goes around the internet with that late porn star, the big black guy sitting on the edge of the bed.
Yep. And people photoshopped that onto the picture that you're talking about. Yeah.
A big uncircumcised dong.
I'd argue this is the worst thing to happen to MLK, for being honest.
Yeah, it's horrible.
At least he got, he died honorably.
Woo. And of course that is called The Embrace because it's from a picture of they took the arms and the shoulders
embracing a dick.
I've got the sculptor trying to explain it.
Well, I want to play that in a second.
Okay.
But this is when Coretta Scott King embraced MLK when they found out he won the Nobel Peace Prize. And that's his arms, and there's their arms and shoulders and their hands. It's just that cut out.
Did they run out of money and couldn't
they could have just done a statue of MLK.
Or just like the embrace with their heads attached so it would all make sense.
Right, in the shoulders and the bodies. But instead, Boston got a $10 million dick. It's amazing to me. Art is dead. Art is dead. And so anyway, let's play the clip of the sculptor explaining what this was.
This Friday, one of the largest memorials dedicated to racial equality will be unveiled in America's oldest public park, Boston Common.
I had a vision, frankly.
It's called
Wasn't a very
The
good one.
Embrace.
Let's say you did.
And to design it, Hank Willis Thomas pored over hundreds of images of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his wife, Coretta Scott King.
There was an intimacy that I saw that wasn't really highlighted often. Often when you do look closely at pictures, they're holding each other's hands.
One photo in particular got the sculptor's attention. The reaction when Reverend King was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964.
I just love that image. Him hugging her with such glee and such joy and such pride. And I saw the pride on her face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I recognized that this was teamwork. And all of his weight in that picture is on her.
And so Hank Willis Thomas, along with architects from the Mass Design Group, rather than depicting whole figures, decided to
There it is.
represent a specific moment of intimacy.
Okay.
I'm kind of scared because representing the kings without their faces is a bold move.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
It's a bold move. And I go back to the beginning of that interview where she, as a narrator, said the biggest dedicated to demonstration dedicated to racial equality. No, it reminds me that I have a standard issue mediocre Caucasian penis. I don't think it's equal at all. It doesn't, listen, no, absolutely not. I do not feel equal
And
whatsoever.
You know what? We're taken to the streets.
Yeah.
Fighting for equality.
All inches matter. Yeah. Wow. So there it is, Boston. You got it. You got it. No, there is something to be said about that. Whenever you start to mess with art, okay? And art, people say, oh, it's just a sculpture, blah, blah, blah. It's a waste of money. And here's the thing. You know, I thought we were in the business of tearing monuments down, first of all.
Yeah. It is an odd time to decide to create an MLK sculpture.
Yeah, because we were supposed to pull all that down.
Right.
And again, if you think that was, MLK, they can get away with it. By the way, MLK was a socialist, but just throw that in there to keep everybody, keep the controversy stirred up. Not saying the man didn't do some good things, but he was a socialist. And go a little bit further on this. There will be a generation that comes along and wants to tear that down. Mm-hmm. They will want to pull that down because, again, that's just the way the circle of time works, right? Mm-hmm. It's the way culture evolves. That's the way the pendulum swings. It's going to happen. So while they're doing that, it's amazing to me that they did rob the art, if you want to call it that, of its ability to interpret. You said it, that there's no face, there's no head, right? Why? I mean, why are we not talking about the true image of what you immediately would recognize as dedicated to this person you're trying to honor? Mm-hmm. So that's, I get interpretive art. I understand all that kind of stuff, abstract stuff. I get all that. But, let's say Joe Biden and AOC have their way and they do drop nuclear bombs on us and everything's obliterated. And are you going to, and that survives, are future generations, as society rebuilds, will they be able to tell the history? Will they be able to tell the story based off of that? No. And their ability to interpret that?
Well, they're going to interpret it as something.
Yeah, they're going to be like, wow, before the bomb, they had really huge phallus. Wow. So you sent it to me. I commented on your tweet. I said, I am mildly turned on right now.
I don't know what it is, but I am mildly turned on right now. I don't have a clue what I'm looking at. But I'm feeling a little hot in here. So, yeah. What's fascinating to me is it was so multidimensional that different people saw different things. None of them were good.
None.
Because you mentioned the obvious, that angle, it obviously looks like a giant wiener. But also, one of the angles, it looked like an oral act was being performed.
It looked like somebody was eating ass. Let's just be honest, all right? You don't want to say it. I can say it.
Yes.
It looked like somebody had their head buried, like the dude was holding some thighs and really just kind of digging into that. Let's call it what it is. And I promise you, that's what I saw when I was a little turned on. I was on an airplane, actually. I was on an airplane. I was getting tube in the tube. I was excited. No, seriously.
But it takes serious talent to give that sort of multi-dimensional sculpture. You're not quite sure what you're looking at.
Yeah.
So all different people interpreted it all different ways. I'm just not sure that it had anything to do with MLK's legacy.
No.
I mean, maybe it did. I don't know. I wouldn't know.
Maybe. I mean, they did everything they could to blackmail King. The FBI did with this so-called sex tapes and stuff. And again, in 2027, they're supposed to release all of that.
I can't wait. It's going to be really fascinating because if it is true, the rumors of what they have, that he was listening to women be raped and he didn't do anything.
Right. And was laughing about it.
Right, and was laughing about it. What do you do about MLK Day as a national holiday?
What do you do about that?
What do you do about the statues and all that?
So gives new meaning to a very phallic statue. Does. You hope that that's not true.
Right.
You hope that's not true, which my thing is, why wait till 2027?
They're so weird how they do that.
I don't get it.
Well, it's the same thing with all the JFK stuff that's coming out now.
Yeah. I don't get it.
I mean, other than they want to wait until it's not as big of a deal.
When you have a government that hides information from its citizens, and we're going to talk about that in the next segment because, damn, it's really happening.
Yeah.
Hey, when you look at a photo of yourself and you see a receding hairline or a bald spot, like today I was in the dressing room doing a live feed video on Facebook with Chad Robichaud, and I could see the mirror behind us in the video, and I could see our bald spots in the deal. Well, I could see mine through my hat. I could see Chad's because he wasn't wearing a hat.
Yeah.
But I know mine's there. If you see that and you want to do something about it, Keeps has clinically proven FDA-approved hair loss treatments that are available online. And if you want to prevent hair loss, stimulate hair growth, or take better care of the hair you have, Keeps medical providers will help you find the right products and develop a personalized hair-saving routine that works for you. It's easy. You don't have to wait in a waiting room. You don't have to go to the pharmacy. Keeps is delivered straight to your door at about half the cost of a traditional pharmacy. Half the cost, folks. You heard me right. And if you have questions, you can message your Keeps provider 24/7. So if you're ready to take action, join the thousands of guys who have saved their hair with Keeps. Visit keeps.com/loss for 50% off your first order. That's KEEPS.com/loss. Keeps.com/loss. Be right back. So I was at my Kroger yesterday. And
I can't wait.
Yeah.
You told me you were going to tell me a story.
I went to church. Like I always do. Went to church and I was feeling pretty sanctified.
All right.
Feeling I was in a good place. I was in a good space, I was a little tired from the weekend, long travel.
Was it your cowboy church?
No.
Oh.
I go to two different churches. I listen to two different preachers, both of them named Randy. There's Lone Star Cowboy Church in Montgomery, and then there is The Crossing in the Woodlands. Mm-hmm. The Crossing is right there by my house, and so boom, they're both named Randy.
Okay, weird.
And but I love The Crossing. It's a great church. If you're in that area, I highly recommend that church. It's I sneak into the balcony and sit way up in the back.
Why are you telling everyone where you're going to be?
They still can't find me.
This makes me very uncomfortable.
They still can't find me. Well, there's multiple services for one. And then they're not going to find me.
Oh, they'll stay for all of them, I can guarantee you.
I get stopped every now and then, but people are very respectful. I don't have people asking for pictures or nothing. They know we're at church. So, but I get stopped, and that's fine. That's fine. It's fine. I love meeting people, and they say hello and stuff like that. They're cordial about it.
The only one on TV I know who's like, I go to this church, and this is where I sit.
I don't worry about that stuff.
Come find me.
Listen, I just spent 15 minutes talking about a black penis. I need church, all right? And so I like the accountability of it. I'm just telling you guys, I go to church. But I encourage people, go to pick a good church. But Randy Harvey is the pastor there. He's great and just down-to-earth, cool dude. And just when he there's guys who preach and then there's guys who can preach. Mm-hmm. And he's got some life in his words. That makes sense to you.
Yeah.
You could tell the difference.
Yeah.
You could tell the difference.
Course.
He's got life in him. And so it's very good. I enjoy it. I left out of there yesterday, went across the street to my Kroger every day. I had to get cleaning stuff.
Okay.
While I'm in there, I bought some other things that eggs, and eggs are expensive right now.
No kidding. You should just be glad you found them.
My unvaccinated sperm and those eggs, let me tell you, it's the new Bitcoin. It could possibly be. But I bought some other soft perishables, things like that. I brought one of those little half loaves of bread and stuff like that because, you got people, you got to make sandwiches for the kids and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
I got my stuff.
Yeah.
And but I went in there for cleaning stuff.
Okay.
And toilet paper. I buy a lot of toilet paper because I don't like to keep buying it, so I buy a bunch all at once.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know this or not, but I poop. And every day.
The whole world knows that.
Every day. So if you want to know where I'm going to be at, that's one of the places every day.
Find me at the toilet.
You cash me out there. Anyway. I go to checkout. Little lady's helping me. And I say that because she's not a little lady. She's a little lady is helping me. And there's a real tall lady who's like putting the stuff in a bag.
Yeah.
Push my cart through, making small talk, show her my Kroger Plus card. Ding, ding. Get my little discount. Not a discount. It's just what it should be.
Right.
Right. But because I'm part of the buyers club, they're the savers club.
Yeah.
Anyway. So I'm like, hear this racket, and the girl down at the end is like slamming my stuff in the cart. We call it a buggy in the South. She's slamming the stuff in my buggy. I had like donuts with the icing on top for the kids. Boom, just right upside down. And I looked, I'm like, oh, you did that on purpose. And she's like throwing stuff. The bread goes in there, and she took the cleaning supplies and just set it on top of the bread. And I said, what's going on? And she was just still throwing stuff in the thing. I said, do you have a problem? And she did it again. I said, are you stupid? And I said, stop. She went to take that big thing of toilet paper and throw it on the, I just swatted it out of the way. I just swatted it out into the floor. She takes my cart and just pulls it like this, just snatches it out of the lane. And I said, am I missing something?
What the hell?
And she's like, I know who you are. I said, you about to find out who I am. I've seen your stuff. I said, you go see me on the 6 o'clock news. I said, do you not like having a job?
No kidding.
I'm like, what's going on here?
Oh my God. What did she say?
Nothing. I got my stuff and left. I was like, look, first of all.
You didn't call?
No. And I won't.
I'm gonna.
No, you're not. Here's the deal. I believe that stuff comes around to bite you in the ass. It does. I'm not going to be the guy that says, oh, I got some girl fired from some deal. I'm not going to do it.
I'll do it. I
get the crap all the time. From people. Listen, I know. I understand. But I'm not going to do it. And I'm like, you know what? I have my ways of making you see me quite often and really make you miserable.
Yeah, because you go there. Every day.
That's my Kroger. But people I was like kind of laughing. I was like, the balls on this chick.
Seriously.
I was like, okay.
Oh my God.
Okay. And then I was like, do you even work here? Like I had my questions at that point.
Wow.
It was weird. So anyway, it was a bold move. Bold move, Cotton.
What a bitch.
Yeah. Like I was like, I'm buying this stuff.
Right.
And you're just like throwing it.
Right.
And you're piling heavy stuff on top of it. And then literally took the thing. And I was like, maybe you're on the spectrum or something. I don't know. Because she just takes the cart and just snatches it. Just pulls it out of the deal. I was like, lady, you and I are fixing to have a problem.
God.
And so I was like, really? I was like, I'm going to need you to have a nice day, okay? Need you to work on yourself. There's a church across the street.
Yeah. That's what you need to do.
Take your ass over there and get in it.
Oh, my gosh.
Anyway.
Well, God bless her. She's lucky that it was you that she did that to and not someone else like me.
Yeah, I know.
Who would not have been so kind and forgiving. And
trust me. Glad she didn't do it to you. In other news, you guys think I'm going to talk about these classified documents, and maybe I will. I got so many theories on that, we don't even have time to get into it. But I want to talk to you about real news. This is real news, and that is the USA won the Miss Universe. All the years I've been watching Miss Universe, I've never seen anybody from another planet. All right? But
that you know of.
The Miss America, Miss USA, I guess it is. I don't know what the titles are for that. Not Miss America, but I guess it's Miss USA. They go to compete in the deal. And I'm sure based on the virality of this clip, everybody has seen her little get up. Brandon, just play it for everybody. What the hell?
Oh.
Have you seen this?
No. What?
There she is.
Looks like she's about to fall over.
She is about to fall over.
USA.
It looks like she took one of them workout balls and spray painted it like the moon and put it up there. Doesn't it look like one of those big exercise balls?
It does.
And she came out there with, I don't know, antlers or something. What? It was wild, man. But she won.
Is it another? She won?
She won.
My gosh, I'd hate to see what the losers looked like.
And, Donald Trump used to own that pageant. Then he sold it to a transgender person. I don't know if anybody knows that.
Yeah.
He's so full of hate. But he sold it for like $20 million. He don't care if you got a swinging an MLK or not. He don't care.
He's really bad at being discriminatory.
Yeah. You got $20 million. He don't care what's swinging or not swinging or whatever. Now, was that person transgender? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Do a quick Google search to see
anymore.
if Miss Universe is transgender. I don't know.
But...
And I don't know why that stands out in my head as maybe I've heard something, but I don't know. So I don't want to create any speculation there. I want to find out.
Well, I'm still confused on the outfit.
There's a lot going on there. And
that was just her regular outfit? Was it like a special dress-up category?
Yeah, apparently so. I don't know. I don't watch that. So
it was like dress like you're in space, maybe?
I don't know. Okay. All I know is that.
All right. Well.
And I was proud to be an American. So do we get a confirmation? Is that
I think
is that an actual woman? I believe that is an actual. I think that's an actual woman. I think that's right, because I think Trump sold to a transfer. And I will say, because Kevin Wade, my buddy K-Dub, he put that deal on Twitter. That's where I saw that clip first. And then they do a shot from behind. I was like, well, she's got a great ass. Right? See, I need to be in church more. And I was like, I hope that's not a dude. That's why I was like, I hope that's not a dude. But hey, I mean, if you put together, you put together.
Right.
Right? I mean, me and my buddy Kyle Lovett, we were at a bar in Colorado a few years ago, and this girl, little tiny petite thing, comes in there in a little tight skirt right there. And I was like, man, the girl kind of looked like she got a head like a house cat. I mean, big old thing up on them shoulders, and then turn around, it's a dude. 5 o'clock shadow. But it had a nice ass. I'm just telling. I was like, I don't know how you stay so skinny,
it's
man.
Like Blair White.
Yeah. Blair or
Blair's
whatever.
hot.
Blair's got a body. Yeah. A lot of work went into Blair White.
Yeah.
Anyway, Hunter Biden. Okay, I didn't want to bring up the Bidens, but I got to. So Hunter has moved to block his daughter having his last name. Mm-hmm. And DNA tests have proven that this is his progeny.
Right. Like the conversation being had now is not paternity.
Right.
That was already established several years ago.
Done.
He did fight that too.
Yeah, he fought that too. But it's a done deal. He doesn't want that child having his last name, because he's a piece of shit, is what he is. And now, first of all, I don't know why baby mama would want to have the Biden last name. I guess you can trade on it.
So I was just having this conversation last night, and I kind of landed, this is obviously pure speculation, but I kind of landed, if you are a single mom and the father has fought you every step of the way, doesn't want to pay child support, doesn't want to acknowledge the grandparents, right? The president of the United States never acknowledges this child as their grandchild. They hang up stockings. She's never acknowledged. I might, just to be spiteful, be like, screw you guys. She's going to have your last name. And then how are you going to deny her?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can see that logic. I mean, I and I guess it's, I guess it's a win-win for the kid, but is it? I don't know.
I don't think.
I just don't think when it's all said and done, the Biden name's going to be that great.
It's not looking like it.
I'll give you my opinion later on in the next segment after I wax eloquent. But anyway, we got to take a break. We'll be right back. All right, folks, welcome back. It's that time of the show where I must wax eloquent. And I'm not going to go a direction you think. I'm gonna. Let's talk about woke things, okay? I fervently hope and pray that we stand at the intersection of time and space, wherein the woke socio-ideological moment, which has so perniciously profligate our society and culture, is finally beginning to metabolize its own form and will soon collapse back into the dust heap of history from whence it came, its adherents having at long last finally eaten their own. I'm ready for that house of cards to fall. Of course, I might be too optimistic, but a boy can dream. If you happen to have HBO Max or are friends with someone who does and who is highly susceptible to suggestion under the influence of certain drugs you may or may not possess, it's at least possible that you've seen the first season of the new show called Velma. All right. It's a prequel to every stoner's favorite cartoon from decade hence, Scooby-Doo. And it takes the characters you all know and snack to in some very different and modern directions. Now, full disclosure being the technical term for the better part of valor here, I've not seen past the pilot episode, so my hot take on the show might well not extend past that. Only time's going to tell. Now, in other words, I may come back on this show and in the very near future, I may have to tell you that, nope, the Blaze article was right, and this is the wokiest McWokerson bullshit I've ever seen. But for the moment, I want to share my initial impression. Velma, who's hot in the little skirt and the glasses, okay, in its pilot episode, is not bereft of the moral relativism we've come to expect in our television fare over the past decade or so. Every trope that has been reverently trumpeted in the clearest of virtue signaling certainly gets touched on. Every reference to diversity is there. The dispelling of toxic masculinity through utter emasculation is on the scene. The erasure of all thought that strays away from the current woke orthodoxy concerning members of the LGBTQ and friends, present and accounted for. The half-hour episode is a clear it's a meditation on the self, just the self and nothing but the self, as one would expect. And if I just stop there, my view will fit in tandem with most of those on the right who are arguing that it's terrible. But of course, I always try to march to my own drummer a little bit, and my drummer doesn't always see eye to eye with everybody on the right or the left. In fact, he kind of wanders all over the field, and sometimes I wonder if he's drunk, and yes, typically he is. Anyway, here's what soothes the rage for me when it comes to shows like Velma. And there's a lot of these different shows out there. We're just using this as an example. I think, and I want to stress here that I'm not positive of this, but I think this show starts right out of the gate poking fun at the very wokeism it's embracing. Now, look, set aside the adult nature of the show to begin with, and it is an adult show. Unlike the original Scooby-Doo, this show is pretty clearly aimed at adults. Now, whether that kind of adult programming should be accessible to children is another matter entirely, and the subject of a different discussion for a different day. For now, let it suffice that the show is rated TV MA, that's mature. Theoretically, it's designed to be watched by adults, and as such, it's pretty funny, at least in the pilot episode. But most importantly, again, is the fact that while it's making all of the usual obeisance to woke doctrine, it's doing a thing that very few, if any, other woke shows have dared to do for years, and that's actually be funny. Now, remember, the dictum has been for a long time that you can't joke if you go woke. That's because the house of cards upon which woke ideology is built has always been so flimsy, and the slightest puff of wind could knock it off its fault line and destroy it. Now, I doubt that the people making the show are doing this consciously, but I believe they might be providing a little bit of that wind now. And if they are, even accidentally, it could be a sign of things going in the right direction. Maybe, eventually, we'll pull out of this funk of stupidity. We'll make humor okay again. Like I said, it might be looking at a TV show through Republican-colored glasses, but boy, a man can dream. Have you seen that show? Have you seen the show? No, of course not. Of course not. I mean, I try to. I don't watch a lot of TV.
Yeah.
I'm pretty basic in that. There's no good movies anymore. They don't make good movies anymore.
We were just discussing this the other night.
It's just pablum. It's crap.
We've had to turn to true crime documentaries because
you texted me last night and said, do you watch true crime? And I was like, maybe. I don't know if I do or not. I don't know exactly what that genre would entail, but you gave me a recommendation that apparently I have to check out.
Yeah, so. I thought it was fascinating.
Yeah, I get up to the murder and I'm done.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really care who did it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then maybe true crime is not for you.
Maybe not.
Because there's a whole lot of whodunit that's in there that is supposed to be appealing.
I got it. I mean, after Columbo went away, I was kind of done with all that whodunit stuff. Between Matlock and Columbo and, Perry Mason.
Uh-huh.
I'm done.
You're dating yourself.
Well, I'm old. I'm old. So anyway, Velma. I just watch it for the short skirt. This is why I go to church and get accosted at Kroger.
It is why you get accosted at Kroger.
It actually is. There it is. That's it. But it's an adult. It's Scooby-Doo for adults is what it is.
Well, Scooby is unfortunately absent from
there's no
the series.
Scooby yet because Scooby's not there yet.
Yeah. Which, I mean, is it really Scooby-Doo without Scooby?
Well, no. That's why it's called Velma.
It's Velma.
Yeah.
It is not.
It wasn't very good. I watched
no Scooby
episode.
snacks. None of that. So, we got to talk about this. We got to talk about this Joe Biden classified documents thing.
Okay.
We got to talk about it a little bit. Mostly I'm just, I sort of sit back with glee and I look at the fact that this is a trash president. It's a scandalous president. Mm-hmm. They've buried everything under there. Joe Biden, remember him going back talking about Barack Obama's deal? He's like, no scandals. Remember that whole thing? Mm-hmm. Bro. Mm-hmm. I mean, this administration started out when his German Shepherd bit a Secret Service agent. That German Shepherd is now conspicuously dead. This has been one thing after another. The laptop story, which got buried around election time, that you got banned on social media. CJ posted a meme the other day of Hunter Biden in his underwear with the scarf around his neck in front of the garage with classified documents out there. And they used to put you in 30 days of jail for posting that picture of him in his underwear because they said that it was demonstrating inappropriate pictures. They used to ban you for that. She got a warning the other day, and it didn't even put a ding on her page.
Huh.
But it did. She goes, I didn't tell me what picture. I said, I looked at her page. I said, it's the Hunter Biden one.
Yeah.
So at least now they're backed off of that, of the penalties, because now it's coming to light, right? It's coming to light. We know now that he was paying, $50,000, $49,910 a month in rent to his dad.
Are you saying that seems out of the
ordinary?
A
little exorbitant. It's on the outer realms of exorbitant, especially when if you look in that neighborhood on like Zillow, the most expensive house you can rent right now in that neighborhood is $6,000 a month. All right. So, you go back to the laptop, you go back to the 10% for the big guy. I woke up this morning, I always look and see what's trending on Twitter. 10% for the big guy was trending on Twitter. Was it
really?
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, 10% for the big guy. Because again, now it comes back to this whole thing of how and listen, renting a house like that's a good way to launder money. Mm-hmm. It's a good way to launder money. Mm-hmm. But again, these guys saw themselves as above the law. So he was making like $82,000 to $84,000 a month from Burisma, which we all looked at that and said, damn, a guy who has no experience in the oil and gas industry is making all this money from a Ukrainian oil company, $84,000 a month for being on the board. Well, if he's spending $50,000 on rent, he's only keeping about $32,000, $34,000 a month. I would say that doesn't match up. Like, I think you could find a cheaper place, right? But he leased this house that had the classified documents in the garage. Now, all the talking heads and the pundits out there are going to tell you that that this is not anywhere near as bad as what Donald Trump did. I've got an opinion on that we're going to talk about after the break. We'll be right back. There is no question in my mind that Hunter Biden, with the knowledge of his father, Joe Biden, was trading secrets with China and Ukraine from classified documents. There's no question in my mind when Joe Biden says, well, they're in the garage, but it's a locked garage. He admitted that the classified documents were there. Mm-hmm. Now, Donald Trump was not able to send his lawyers into Mar-a-Lago to take a look and go through everything. Joe Biden was able to send his attorneys in to go through everything and take a look at what's there. All right? That's bullshit. The DOJ is corrupt. Corrupt. They are corrupt. Screw these alphabet agencies. They are corrupt. I think my FBI agent that's assigned to watch me has probably got a crush at this point. That's the only reason they're just, what's up, girl, holla. But they're corrupt, right, Sarah? It's terrible. No question in my mind they were doing it. University of Pennsylvania, where Joe Biden's think tank. Listen, if you just don't believe you can achieve anything in life, remember that Joe Biden had a think tank, okay? They got $50 million from the Chinese government. Why? Why did they get 10 times more endowment, more donation money from the Chinese Communist government than any other university in the United States of America? Why would the place where Joe Biden has an office and a think tank get that from China? They're trading secrets, man. Not only is it traitorous and treasonous, And Joy Behar, who says, well, we know Donald Trump is a thief and a crook and a liar, so we expect that out of him. But we don't think that about Joe Biden, so we give him the benefit of the doubt, you fat bitch. You're so stupid when you come up. I mean, these people, and they listen to this crap. Yeah. They listen to this crap. They've worn masks so long that oxygen has deprived their brain of just any oxygen to be able to think clearly. I mean, it's just stupid, the stuff they say. So, this is why people throw my crap in the buggy at Kroger. But I'm telling you, I don't want them just impeached. I want them stripped of everything. Any former title, any wealth. I want them begging on the street. I want them sitting there next to Alex Stein and Dontarius on a street with a cup in their hand, begging somebody for change. I think Vladimir Zelensky is a criminal. I think Ukraine is a money laundering place. And that doesn't mean I'm pulling for Russia. Screw them all. But they have funneled money. They have laundered money from everything in Delaware real estate to Ukrainian everything. From trafficking to drugs to political scandal, blackmail, every bit of it. This is the most corrupt, I'm telling you. He may not be the worst president in United States history, but possibly going to turn out to be the most corrupt.
Yeah.
I mean, this is insane what we're watching unfold.
Yeah. Who was it? Peter Schweitzer, who has done
so
Peter. Much investigation into the Biden family, and he calls them the most corrupt. Yeah. He is the most corrupt politician. That's also factoring in Hillary Clinton. So, I mean, how bad do you have to be
horrible
to surpass the Clinton family?
He has been in Washington, D.C. for over 50 years and just floated in there and was able to operate in the shadows, doing all of this stuff. First of all, I don't know how you make $170,000 a year and you've got that kind of wealth. I mean, you've got a $2 million home. That's the $2 million home. Hunter Biden was paying $550,000 a year in rent. He did that for 2 years. So it's a $2 million home. The equity on that, none of that math on that works out. So, how's this stuff going down? It's going down somehow. I saw that, on a side note, Nancy Pelosi just dumped several $1 million in stock the other day. What's up, Nance?
It's funny.
What do you know?
I was just about to go there as well. That just seems to be why people get into politics.
Yeah.
Is so that they can do all of these backdoor deals and insider trading and, all of a sudden make themselves wealthy on the backs of the taxpayers.
And by the way, last year, Dan Crenshaw out-invested Nancy Pelosi. He was the highest one.
Yeah, notice I didn't say Democrats because they all do it. They all do it.
That's right.
And on that chart, the chart that shows all of these politicians, there is way too much red in there for anyone to feel comfortable with.
Lots of red.
A lot of Republicans.
Don't like it.
No.
Don't like it. That's why this uniparty thing, you'll have to tune in tomorrow and listen to my buddy Brian McClanahan, historian Brian McClanahan, talk about, presidents and how every president in the last 100 years should have been impeached. Every one of them. Because if you lump in every president for the last 50 years, they're basically all one big long administration. It's true. They're all. It's problematic. But Joe Biden's the most corrupt of any of them. His whole family. The whole family. It's corruption, and it's going to be exposed. What they do with it is going to be another story. But I want them begging bread. I do. I want them out on the street because these people, listen, this is tyranny. This is tyranny. These bastards, these sons of bitches that have been in power in the D.C. Beltway for all these years. Let me tell you something, especially the presidents. They wield more power than King George III ever wielded as a tyrant when we were British colonies. This is the fact that we put up with it. They should be more than tarred and feathered. And I don't care if they're Republicans or Democrats. I don't care. I want them begging bread. I want them under the boots of the American citizen. That's strong enough? That's where I want them. I want them eating dust for the rest of their days. Because they took a system, they took an idea, they took something that men lived, bled, fought, died for, dreamed of, and they've shit on it. They've walked on it, trampled it, crushed it, How many people are dependent on the state? How many people are living in a welfare mindset? How many people are in poverty because of that effing 1% who are politicians, who are supposed to be public servants, Sarah, have lorded it over them. And so when that smarmy, smug looks at me and says, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. No, you're the joke, Joe. You're the joke. You say, listen, Jack. No, you listen, Jack. I hope your progeny is wiped off the face of the earth and completely eradicated from American history. Whenever they say the name Biden, I hope somebody spits on the ground, you fucking asshole. We'll be right back. All right. Sometimes I just feel like there's just going to be color bars that go boop right over my show at any given time. I noticed that they never play clips like that out in the lobby.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Those are never on the Blaze commercial. Pisses me off, though, man. It pisses me off, Sarah. I'm so angry.
I could tell. Well, look, any American who is actually paying attention to what's going on should be that angry. That's the problem.
Listen,
no one is paying close enough attention to have that anger, that I would say righteous anger.
You know, when our founding fathers fought a revolution, they weren't happy about it.
Right.
They weren't nice about it.
And they fought it over far less.
Yeah, far less. And they were willing to shed blood and shed their own blood. But if you want to have some laughs and, have a little fun, come see us in Amarillo Friday night at Hoots Pub. Who knows? Maybe we'll get ourselves a revolution going. Yeah. ChadPratherLive.com. And then the Buckwild Comedy Tour. You want to be around some pissed off comedians, come hang out with me and Zach Rushing. You're going to have some fun with that. We're going to be in Joplin, Missouri. Then I'm going to Fort Wayne, Indiana, I think on the 3rd of February. So, boy, it's already the end of the year, Sarah. I mean, God, it's just flying by.
Yeah.
So I just might as well leave the Christmas tree up. Might as well. We need to send you over to American Beauty by Sarah.com. And might as well more damn makeups. Get pretty. You're so pretty.
Oh, thank you.
You're so pretty. Looking like Little House on the Prairie. If Little House on the Prairie had them hoes on it, you know what I'm talking about? You're beautiful, I tell you. Beautiful.
Thank you.
All right. BlazeTV.com/Chad. Use promo code Chad. Sign up on an annual subscription. Save $10. It will be delivered to you in a discreet, unmarked package. I love you guys. God bless you. Tomorrow's Tuesday. We'll see you then. Bye.